morning, class. Today we are learning about fire safety. This past week we have learned about injury prevention and safety, but today's topic is fire safety. Your learning targets for today are, by the end of this lesson, I will be able to describe fire safety, and I will be able to appropriately respond to an unwanted, threatening, or dangerous situation in a fire. So, for review, we have been learning about preventing injuries, like bicycle safety. Can someone tell me, to prevent injury on a bicycle, what could you do? Yes.
Wear a helmet.
Good job. So right here is an anchor chart. It's all about fire safety. What do these pictures on the anchor chart remind you of about fire safety? So for this one, on the mailbox, this one is just like having a meeting place. So if you are in your home and there's a fire, you always want to make sure you and your family have a meeting place. So a mailbox would be at the end of the road, so it would be a great place for you and your family to meet because it would be far away from the house and it would be safe. So right here next to the mailbox, I'm going to write a meeting place. Okay, and then this second picture here shows a cloud of smoke, and then there's just a person underneath it. And this one is just showing stay low and go. So you always want to make sure in a fire or if there's smoke that you stay low. So I'm going to write stay low and go. Okay, and then this picture is showing a house with flames coming out the roof. So this is showing that there is a fire going on in this house. And then you have a person that is going back in the house after they have came out. And there is an X here, and it's just showing you should never go back in. Even like to save a pet or anything, you should never go back in the house. So you just want to get out and stay out. Okay, and then this next one it's just a stick with a marshmallow on the end, and it shows fire, and you always just want to make sure when you're around a bonfire or any kind of fire at all, you always want to make sure you just are very careful because fires can be very dangerous. This picture here shows a little boy hiding like under a box or a table, and you can tell he's very scared. And you always want to make sure that you never hide. You always want to make sure that you're with an adult, you're not hiding from them. Because if you're in the house and you're hiding because you're scared of the fire, an adult might not be able to find you, and it could be very dangerous. Okay, and then this one is a cell phone. Can someone tell me why there might be a cell phone on the anchor chart about fire safety? Yes.
A reminder to call 911.
Yes, good job. So you always want to call 911 in case of an emergency or a fire. And you always want to make sure you tell them your name and your address. Okay. And then this one here is a stove with a hot burner on. And then it's a hand showing an X and then a candle. What could those three pictures mean with fire safety? Yes.
Just making sure you don't touch a hot stove or not leaving one on. And then like the candle, I guess like make sure it's blown out. Make sure you're not playing with candles.
Good job. So this one you're just going to put, we're going to put do not touch. So you always want to make sure you do not touch a hot stove, and then candles, if they're burning, they always need to be blown out before you leave your home. And then these pictures down here, they all four go together, and this one just shows a t-shirt with flames coming out from it, and it just shows that the shirt's on fire. So you always want, if your clothes are on fire, you always want to make sure you stop, drop, and roll. So that's just what these pictures, it's stop, drop, and roll. So I'm just going to write stop, drop, and roll. Okay, and then this one I forgot to write, never hide. Okay? And then the next thing we are going to do is we're going to do a Brain Pop Junior video on the board on fire safety. And this video shows safety in the school and safety in the home setting. So make sure you're paying attention because we are going to do the quiz after we watch the video.
Moby, stay calm. There's no fire. We're having a fire drill. A fire drill is an exercise where people practice what to do in case there is a fire. What do you do during a fire drill at school? When you hear the fire alarm, get up and walk to the door right away. Do not finish what you're doing and do not stop to do anything else. Move quietly and quickly, but do not run. If you run, you might trip and get hurt. Line up and listen to your teacher for directions. The alarm is really loud, but do not cover your ears. You might miss important directions. It's really important to stay quiet so everyone can hear the teacher. Walk in a line as you leave the classroom and the building. Remember who is standing in front of you and stay behind that person. Pay attention so you do not get separated from your group. If you do get separated, do not go back into the classroom. Go outside right away. If you're not in your regular classroom, follow the school's safety plan and go outside. Ask an adult to help you find your class. Once you're outside, it's important to stay with your class and stay quiet. Your teacher needs to make sure everyone is there and safe. Your teacher will tell you when it's time to go back inside the building. You should take fire drills seriously because they help prepare us for emergencies. What is an emergency plan? Our family came up with a plan to stay safe during an emergency. We discussed all the safe ways to exit or leave our home. We learned where to find the fire extinguisher, which is a special spray that puts out small fires. Remember, the fire extinguisher is not a toy. We also learned about our smoke detectors. A smoke detector is a small alarm that goes off when it senses smoke. Our family picked a safe spot to meet in case we get separated during an emergency. We also got a list of people we can call if there are problems. And we know to call 911 if there's an emergency. Fires don't happen very often, but you should know what to do during a fire. Let's do a fire drill at home. What should you do if there's a fire? If you're with an adult when you hear an alarm, follow directions carefully. If you have to exit the building, leave right away. Do not take your belongings with you, just go. If you smell smoke but don't see it, touch the door or doorknob lightly. If they are hot or very warm, do not open the door. If it's cool, open the door a little and watch and smell for smoke. If you see smoke coming out from a door, do not open the door. Put blankets or clothes around the door so the smoke doesn't get in. If you can see and smell smoke, stay low to the ground. Smoke and heat rises in the air, so you're better off crawling. You can cover your nose and mouth so you breathe less smoke. If your clothes catch on fire, don't run. Instead, stop, drop, and roll to put it out. If you hear a fire alarm, do not hide. Grown-ups need to find you and make sure you're safe. Follow your emergency plan and try to get outside as fast as possible. I think we all did a good job on our drill. How can you prevent fires? Fires can be dangerous, so it's important to keep them from happening. Never play with matches, lighters, or fireworks. Keep toys, clothes, and other things away from heaters so they don't catch on fire. Be careful around sockets and don't stick things in them that don't belong. Never play with the stove or oven. Only cook when an adult is around to help you. And don't pull or play with a fire alarm. It's for emergencies only. It's everyone's responsibility to prevent fires. Right, Moby?
Okay, so now we will be doing the quiz. Okay, number 1 says, toys or clothes near a heater can be fire hazards. What is a hazard? A, something that can put out fires. B, something that sounds an alarm. C, something that might be dangerous. Or D, something that plans for emergencies. Can someone tell me which one it is? Yes.
C.
Good job. Okay, number 2 says, what does a smoke detector do? A, it rings a bell before recess and lunch. B, it sounds an alarm if it senses smoke. C, it sprays water to put out small fires. Or D, it cools down a building during fire. Yes.
B, it sounds an alarm if it senses smoke.
Good. Okay, number 3 says, what happens first during a fire drill at school? A, everyone exits the classroom. B, the school fire alarm goes off. C, people walk out of the building. Or D, everyone lines up at the door. Yes.
B, the school fire alarm goes off.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, number 4 says, where is the best place to put a fire extinguisher in your home? A, in the back corner of a closet. B, in the garden next to the back door. C, in the bathroom next to the tub. Or D, in the kitchen where people can see it. Yes.
D.
Good job. Okay, and then number 5, the last question says, why should you cover your door with blankets if you see smoke coming through it? A, to stop smoke from coming into the room. B, to keep the door warm and safe from fires. C, to warn firefighters of a fire in the building. Or D, to keep your belongings safe from the smoke. Yes.
A, to stop smoke from coming into the room.
Good job. Okay, that completes the quiz. And the next thing we're going to be doing is you're going to be put into partners and we're going to do these task cards. And you will have 2 minutes at each rotation. I'm going to have a timer set on the board. And we're just going to do 2 rotations. And with a partner, in your notebook, you should have your notebook. You're just going to take your notebook and a pencil, and there will be something that you read with your partner, and then you will answer 3 questions at the bottom, and you're just going to write the questions and the answers in your notebook. So, for an example, this one says, Ollie the Rolling Otter. Ollie was playing pretend when his scarf touched the stove. Stop, drop, and roll, he remembered. He dropped to the floor, covered his face, and rolled like an otter. Mom cheered. Way to go, Ollie. So the questions, this one says 1. Number 1, what caught fire in Ollie's story? Can somebody tell me the answer to that one? Yes.
Scarf.
Yes, good job. And then number 2 says, what should you do if your clothes catch fire?
Stop, drop, roll.
Good job. And then number 3 says, can you show the stop, drop, and roll steps? Yes, so you would just stop, drop, and roll. Okay, so as everybody can get up, you can get with your partner, and you can go around the room. You will have 2 minutes, and I'm going to walk around the room and ask higher order thinking questions while you all are doing it.
This one here says, Jamie smelled smoke coming from the kitchen. Her sister got everything outside quickly. Jamie called 911. She said Jamie used her phone and said, there's a fire in our kitchen. She gave the address and stayed calm. So question 1, what did Jamie smell in the house?
Smell smoke.
Okay. Number 2, who did she call after getting outside? She called 911. And the last one, what important information did she give on the phone? So what did she give?
She gave her address and her name.
Okay, before you all go to the next station, why do you think fire safety is important to understand and comprehend?
Why do you think fire safety is important?
It's for the safety of you and your family.
Good job.
Stay safe. One evening, Mia heard the smoke alarm beep loudly. Fire! Shouted Dad. Mia followed her family outside to their meeting spot. They watched safely from across the street as firefighters arrived. What did Mia hear in her house? Mia
She
heard...
heard the smoke alarm.
Number 2, what did her family do when they realized there was a fire? They went outside, and it also says they didn't just go outside, they went to their meeting spot. Why was it important for Mia not to wait? Well, because of the fire. It would be dangerous, right?
Dangerous fire.
And we can go to our next place. It's over here. Daniel hides. When Daniel's family practiced a fire drill, Daniel got scared and hid under his bed. Mom found him and said, firefighters can't help if they can't find you. Daniel said, next time I'll go outside.
Question 1 is, where did Daniel go hide? He hid under his bed. Number 2, why is hiding during a fire not safe?
The firefighters couldn't help him, it says. An adult couldn't find you.
Number 3, what will Daniel do next time? He said he'll go outside next time.
Why do you think it's important to know how to properly use a fire extinguisher?
As kids, we probably wouldn't use one, but adults have to know how to use one to be able to put out fires, like it's a grease fire or something like that.
Yes, good job. Okay, if you all are finished, you can go back to your seats and we'll join back whole group. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to summarize a paragraph on the board about what you all learned about fire safety. So we're going to start out with a beginning sentence and we're just going to say, we have learned many things about fire safety. And then we're going to say, first of all, okay, can someone tell me what you've learned about fire safety so far?
When at home,
So
You should
first of
have-
all, when at home,
there should be a safety plan.
so first of all, when at home, there should be a safety plan
That includes a meeting place for the family outside.
a meeting place for the family outside. Okay, and then we're just gonna put secondly, and can someone else tell me what else they have learned about fire safety so far?
Call 911 and give them your name and address.
Yes, so secondly, always call 911 and give them your name and address. Okay, good. And then we're just gonna put last. So what's the last thing that we could put? Yes.
If your clothes catch on fire,
Okay. If your clothes catch on fire,
remember to stop, drop, and roll.
remember to stop, drop, and roll. Okay, so our summary says we have learned many things about fire safety. First of all, when at home, there should be a safety plan. That includes a meeting place for the family outside. Secondly, always call 911 and give them your name and address. Last, if your clothes catch on fire, remember to stop, drop, and roll. Okay, so for your homework today, you are going to go home and you're going to talk with your parents about what you've learned about fire safety today, and you are going to compare and contrast fire safety in the home versus fire safety in the school. So we are going to, in the morning, we are going to have a assignment over this, comparing and contrasting safety in the home versus safety at school. So make sure you do your homework and get that finished. And I just have some extra questions to ask. So number 1 says, do you know of an instance in which a fire has caused great damage to an area near where you live? Can someone answer that for me? Yes.
My aunt lost her vacation home
Good.
to a fire.
Okay. And then number 2 says, what are the consequences of a fire in a home or a public place? Yes.
Well, in a home, you would lose your clothing, you would lose all of the pictures and anything that you've kept that for memories, you lose basically everything.
Yes. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a Google slide on the board, and it's about firefighters. Gotta get this summary off so we can see it. Okay, so here is the Google slide. Okay, so this slide says, it just tells like all about firefighters. It says firefighters drive fire trucks to get to fires fast. They have sirens on the truck to tell other cars to pull over so they can get by. Firefighters use many tools. They use a hose to spray water and an axe to break doors down or cut a hole in the roof to let smoke out. They also use ladders. Firefighters wear special things to keep them safe. They have a heavy coat, boots, a hard hat, and a mask to help them breathe. Firefighters go to school to learn how to keep us safe and to fight fires. They work hard. Firefighters stay at the fire station when they are working. And then this one just says, I love my firefighter. Okay, so this one is just a click and drag to complete. So the main idea on this first one says, firefighters use tools. So which one of these could be the number one detail for firefighters use tools? Yes.
Firefighters use ladders.
Yes, firefighters use ladders. Okay, what could be a second one? Yes.
Firefighters use axes.
Good. Okay, and then the next one, the main idea says, firefighters wear special things. So what could be the detail to put there? Yes.
Firefighters wear masks.
Good. Okay, what could the other one be? Yes.
Firefighters wear hats.
Good. Okay, and then this next slide is true or false. Playing with matches is okay if you are careful. True or false? Yes.
False.
Okay, it is a good idea to have a meeting spot with your family. Yes.
True.
If the room is filled with smoke, get low to the ground and crawl. Yes.
True.
Good job. Okay, if your clothes are on fire, run as fast as you can. Yes.
That would be false.
That is right. Never put things on top of a light bulb that is lit. Yes.
True.
Good. And then if your clothes catch on fire, you should stop, drop, and roll.
True.
Good job. Place a child here sign in your bedroom window.
True.
If you are leaving because of a fire, you should walk. Yes.
False. You should actually run.
Good job. Yes, you should always run. You should never walk because you want to get out fast. Okay. This next one just says fire safety at the top, and you're going to tell me if these things at the bottom are safe or if they are dangerous. Okay, so this first one says planning a meeting place. Is that safe or dangerous?
Safe.
Yes. Okay, the next one says playing with matches. Is that safe or dangerous? Yes.
Dangerous.
Good job. Try to put a fire out alone. Yes.
Dangerous.
Good job. Stay low if there is smoke. Yes.
Safe.
Good. Go back inside for your pet. Yes, like I said when I was going over the anchor chart, you should never enter back in the house, even if it's for a pet or anything. Hide because you were scared. Safe or dangerous?
Dangerous.
Yes. And that was also on the anchor chart. You never want to hide. You always want to make sure you are safe. Check batteries in the smoke alarms. Yes.
Safe.
Good. And then stay away from the fire.
Safe.
Good job. Okay, so that's all of them. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to do a flip book. And I have these here and I'm going to pass those out. Okay, and I'm just going to go over this so you all know what to do. So this first one, it says if your clothes ever catch fire, remember the superhero move called stop, drop, and roll. So for this one, you're just going to, in each box, for stop, you're just going to draw a picture, drop, draw a picture, and then start rolling, draw a picture. And then if there's a fire, find a grown-up and call blank. So you're going to write the number in there that you think you would call. Tell them your name and address and what's happening, and they will send help. And this says color the number you should call in an emergency. So you're just going to color the numbers that you think. This one says, what is the brave firefighter doing in the picture? A, cooking. B, playing games. C, putting out a fire. Or D, taking a nap. And then it says color the best answer. So you're just going to color which one of those you think is the best answer. And then this one says, we don't play with fire, not at all. It can hurt and that's not small. Matches, lighters, we must stay clear. Let's keep safe and have no fear. Circle the things you should never ever play with. So this one, you're just going to circle which ones you think you should not play with. And then this last one says, if there's a fire, we have a special place to stay safe. Stay low, go, and meet up. Can you draw a picture of a special meeting place outside of your home? So in the box below, on that one, you're just going to draw a picture of where you would meet outside of your home in the case of a fire. And I will give you all just a few minutes to work on that. And then we're going to move on to our next thing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to our formative assessment, and you all will have time to complete that later, to complete the flip book. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you are going to write them on your marker board and hold up your answers so I can see them. So the first one is, who puts out fires? Firefighters, good job. Okay, what is a fire safety tip? What is one fire safety tip? Where should you keep a fire extinguisher? Good. Kitchen. That's correct. Okay, the next one is, what should you do if you smell and see smoke? Get out, crawl low, call 911, and get out. Yes, both of those are correct. And then the last one, number 5, says, what number do you dial for emergency assistance? Yes, so you always call 911 and you give them your name and your address. Okay, class, that completes our lesson for today. We have learned a lot about fire safety, and make sure you complete your homework, which is comparing and contrasting the safety at home and the safety in schools. And that completes today's lesson.